time around, it's going to be Tom Brady taking down the Seahawks and giving Tom Brady his 4th Super Bowl win ever. He's officially on his way to becoming the greatest of all time, which may not seem like anything new, but with the 2007 NFL Draft coming up, the league is going to change forever. A generational wide receiver prospect by the name of Calvin Johnson is being drafted by the Cowboys at pick number 2, with the Browns messing up their 1st overall pick, which is nothing new here. The other big notable prospect in this year's class is also going to be Adrian Peterson, who's joining a loaded 49ers backfield with Frank Gore in it as well. So jumping into the 07-08 season, Tom Brady and company are going to be missing the playoffs, which is coming as a shock to the whole entire NFL. This now opens up the door for any team in the AFC, including a guy like Peyton Manning, to add to a Super Bowl resume here. So the AFC's door is pretty wide open right now. So as we look at the NFC, it would be the Cowboys making it to the NFC Championship game, meaning Megatron is getting a chance to add to a Super Bowl resume like he has never had before. And funny enough, the Seahawks are knocking right back on the door of a Super Bowl appearance, as they're going to be in the way of the Cowboys making a Super Bowl here. Falling short against Brady last season was clearly not good enough for them, but now that they don't have to face them, they have a real good shot at winning it all. So the NFC Championship game would be coming down to an overtime thriller, with the Cowboys ending up on top of the Seahawks, meaning Megatron is going to the Super Bowl with Tony Romo. And the team coming out of the AFC this year would be the Tennessee Titans, who are led by 2nd-year quarterback Vince Young, which would be a name I would start to remember right now. Because while the Cowboys would be taking down a Super Bowl team from last year, they would end up being embarrassed by Vince Young and the Titans 48-20, giving Vince Young his 1st Super Bowl ring of his career. Best seasons we've ever seen from the Titans here, and they're capping it off with the Super Bowl win. Vince Young gets his 1st Super Bowl ring, and Megatron does lose in the Super Bowl, but the future is pretty bright for both teams here. It's safe to say that Vince Young has turned this Titans franchise around and is one of the best players in the history of it, and as we get into next season, he's looking to only build up from that. The 2008 draft class would be a pretty good class, with Flacco going to the Panthers and Matt Ryan going to the Browns, which are going to be pretty impactful players down the line here. But it would be the 2nd-year running back in San Francisco being Adrian Peterson stealing the show from the NFL this year, as he's having a crazy breakout year himself, going for 1,800 yards on the season. And back in the AFC, Tom Brady's making the playoffs, but Peyton Manning is not going to be joining him in the playoffs, as he's going to be missing it, even though he has an MVP season this year. And Brady's return to the playoffs would come out with a bang, as he's going all the way to the AFC Championship game just to run into the Tennessee Titans and Vince Young for one of the best games in the playoffs yet. And it's clear this game's going to mean a lot to both quarterbacks on this team, with Brady looking to just increase his GOAT status and Vince Young trying to make a resume to catch up with Brady here. So with that being said, both of these quarterbacks will be lighting it up on offense the whole entire time, with Brady's offense being just a little bit better going into the 4th quarter, being up 31-24 over Vince Young. But luckily for Vince Young, he's going to get a chance to tie this game up for the Titans here and take the game into overtime for a chance at a Super Bowl appearance. Here we go, 3rd and 8 for Vince Young here. 2-minute warning has officially ended, and the Titans now have to get a 1st down here, and he's going to convert that. Down at the 31 there, and the clock's going to start ticking here. Titans do need to hurry it up here. 2 timeouts here, 1:33 left to go for Vince Young and company. Super Bowl trip on the line here for both teams, and they're going to start with the run with 3 yards. Not sure why we're running the ball in this situation, but I'm not the coach, so it doesn't matter. Vince Young's going to throw a check down to his back and gets a few yards there. The defending champs are right now losing grip of finding their way back to go back-to-back here. Let's see what they're going to try to solve here. And Vince Young throws a terrible pass there. 4th and 3 here. If he's really that winning QB that the Titans want, he's going to have to make a play here. And he's going to do that. Throws it down to his receiver. He's going to get down at the 50 there. Big play by the Titans, and that's going to be a timeout. 48 seconds now. Young slips in the rain. Throws a deep ball out to his receiver. He's going to catch it there. Past the 40, down at the 32, and that's a new set of downs for them. Titans are getting quick to the line here. And it looks like they're going to spike the ball here with 31 seconds on the clock. And Young's now going to throw a quick pass out to his receiver. His receiver is going to go down to the 20 and out of bounds at the 17. What a big play there by his receiver. Young now with 25 seconds left. Throws it out to receiver, gets out of bounds there, now at 2nd and 4. Vince Young with officially 400 yards on the day here. A very big masterclass by him in this one with 3 tutties as well. Looking to potentially add a touchdown to that list, and it's going to be incomplete there. 3rd and 4. Here we go now. 18 seconds left. 17. Young taking his time in the pocket, throws it out to his receiver. He's going to grab a 1st down there. And the clock is going to stop there. Perfect. 13 seconds left now. First and goal here for the Titans. No other way to get a first down here. Young scrambling in the pocket's going to throw a pass out, and that's going to be incomplete. Don't know what that was all about. Not much more time for more than 2 plays here, really. He's going to throw a quick receiver check down, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Titans. Getting it out to, I believe that's Tripped? Ben Trope. Ben Trope. Don't know why his last name was Ben Tripped, but Ben Trope from Vince Young. Very big play there by Young and company. So the Titans would be going for 2 to try to shock the Patriots, and this would be the result. Young, and he's gonna convert it. Oh my God. 4 seconds left, and Brady is probably left stunned on the sidelines here. 0 seconds on the clock. Vince Young and company are going back to the Super Bowl here. What a turn of events for Brady and company here. So a very shocking end to Brady's playoff run here, as he was staring down a Super Bowl appearance and is getting upset by Vince Young and the Titans. And with that Titans win, we are actually getting a repeat of last year's Super Bowl, being the Titans versus the Cowboys yet again. So the Cowboys are looking for revenge in this one. And this time around, they're going to be getting that revenge, as they're going to take down the Titans 36-10 in an absolute beating in the Super Bowl. So Calvin Johnson's getting his first ring as a Cowboy, which is now changing his whole career trajectory based on the one he had in real life. This is a very big win for the Cowboys in this one. So now heading into the 2009 NFL Draft, we're going to be seeing the Ravens make a very big addition at quarterback, drafting Matthew Stafford with the first overall pick. And they've been going under the radar this whole time, but they have a very stacked defense right now. So Stafford is walking into a very solid situation for being a #1 overall pick. So they could be contenders here very soon. So now heading into the 2009-2010 NFL season, we've kind of established who the main teams to watch are right now, which is going to be Tom Brady and the Patriots, the Cowboys with Megatron and Tony Romo, the Titans with Vince Young, and the Colts with Peyton Manning, who are still quietly not doing anything quite yet. But we still can't forget about this Ravens team with Stafford, which is going to be a very big deal this season, as they're going to be winning their division and making the playoffs. But from the teams I mentioned earlier, the Titans and the Colts are going to be the 2 teams missing the playoffs this year. That's coming to a shock to the whole entire NFL, which now means the AFC is open for grabs yet again. And as we get into the Super Bowl matchups here, it's going to be the Cowboys finding their way to back-to-back Super Bowls, and coming out of the AFC, it's going to be the Buffalo Bills, who had to get through a pretty tough road here, including taking down Tom Brady in the divisional round. So it's pretty clear that both teams deserve to be here, and the Cowboys are looking to go back-to-back and be the first team to do that in this video, and the Bills are looking to add their first Super Bowl to the franchise. So with that being said, the Bills are going to be absolutely destroying the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 48-21, clearly showing that they're the more dominant team than them. So it's pretty clear with the win here, the Bills franchise is on track to be better than ever now. And before we move on to next season, the 2010 NFL Draft has some pretty good talent here, with Ndamukong Suh going to the Browns and the Colts taking Gerald McCoy at the 2nd overall pick after having a very bad season. There's lots of talent to go around the league right now, so as we jump into the 2010-2011 NFL season, Adrian Peterson is being the main guy to shine the light on yet again. And this time it's going to be for one of the most legendary running back seasons we've ever seen, as he's breaking the rushing record in a single season, going for 2,200 yards and also putting up 27 TDs on top of that, making a very serious case for the MVP here. The bad news is that the MVP award is very much ran by quarterbacks right now, so he isn't going to be winning that, but he will be winning Offensive Player of the Year, which will be his 2nd time doing so. That wouldn't be the only shocking thing happening this season, as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are missing the playoffs this year, with Peyton Manning missing it now 3 years straight. It's not exactly clear why Peyton Manning's been missing the playoffs this many times, but it's definitely not great for his career as he's getting older. So with both those teams being out of the playoffs, the clear contenders this year are definitely the 49ers, Titans, Bills, Panthers, and Browns, which I can't even believe I'm saying right now. So as we get to conference championship weekend, it's going to be the 49ers who are going to be running into the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, who have Michael Vick at quarterback, and with the league being reset, Michael Vick has decided to stay away from dogs, which is pretty good for him. And on the AFC side, it's going to be the Bills making it, and this time it's going to be the Chargers facing off against them, who have Phillip Rivers and LaDainian Tomlinson now playing for their first chance to go to the Super Bowl here. But I'm going to break the hearts of Chargers fans here. They didn't stand a chance against the Bills in the AFC Championship game, so their Bills are going back to the Super Bowl while the Chargers are going back home to watch it from their couch. And even though Vic would be keeping the NFC Championship game close against the 49ers, he's going to be falling short to them, so Adrian Peterson is going to lead his team to the Super Bowl this season. So the matchup is set here. The Bills are looking to go back-to-back, and the 49ers are looking to win their first Super Bowl here with Adrian Peterson at running back, and it's pretty clear that they're the favorites right now with a player like him. And so even though the Bills had a very hard time trying to stop Adrian Peterson in this game, they still would be answering back with scores of their own on offense, trying to keep this game close the whole time. But as it got late into the fourth quarter, the Bills would be losing grip of this game, and the 49ers would be the ones coming out on top, winning 28-21, giving Adrian Peterson his first ring of his career. So with that Bills loss here, we still have yet to see a team go back-to-back in this video, but there's definitely a good pattern starting here with teams making it back-to-back Super Bowls, but yet again falling short. And a little bit after the Super Bowl, the league's going to be getting some big breaking news that Peyton Manning is going to be retiring from the NFL, so he's not going to retire with the Super Bowl, but he is going to retire with some good MVP seasons. So it's clear that the Colts are now going to be starting their rebuild, which who knows how long that's going to take for them, but as we head into the 2011 NFL draft, there is going to be a QB being drafted to a successor for an NFL team. And that team would be the Seattle Seahawks, who are going to be drafting Cam Newton out of Auburn to be their star quarterback after Matt Hasselbeck. The Cowboys would also be taking advantage in this draft, drafting Patrick Peterson in the first round to really level up their defense. So with it entering the 2012 NFL season, we're officially in a new era of football without Peyton Manning. And it's clear one of the big changes we're seeing is that the NFC West of the division is going to be very tough here over the next few years, as the Cardinals are now entering the playoff picture along with the 49ers. Another big thing continuing is that the Patriots and Tom Brady are still going to be missing the playoffs yet again, which is not great, as Tom Brady, since winning his fourth ring, has not been the same player clearly. So as we pan into the playoffs, we're going to be going all the way to the AFC Championship game here, as we're going to be seeing the Ravens make it for the first time with Matthew Stafford leading them at quarterback. And their opponent is going to be, hold on to your seatbelts here, the Cleveland Browns, being led by Matt Ryan. As I said earlier, this Ravens team is going to be very dangerous once they get a legit QB, and it seems like we finally hit that moment. But the one thing that's missing from this team is Ray Lewis is also officially retired from the league as well. And on the NFC side, we're going to be seeing the 49ers make it back to the NFC Championship game to take on the Lions, who are a very sneaky team that's been going under the radar recently. Even though their QB is Sam Bradford, when you have a wide receiver duo with AJ Green and Dez Bryant, it's going to be very hard to try and stop that. And so with that being addressed, the Lions are going to be absolutely destroying the 49ers in the NFC Championship game 28-7 to find their way to the first Super Bowl appearance of this franchise. And on the AFC side, the Ravens are actually going to be getting taken down by the Browns 31-27, and they're going to be finding their way to their first Super Bowl in franchise history as well. And for many reasons, but being the big one that both of these franchises are looking for their first Super Bowl wins in franchise history, this is going to be one of the biggest Super Bowls we're going to see in this video. So jumping into this Super Bowl game, both of these teams are going to be keeping it close the whole way through, but it's pretty clear that the Browns having Matt Ryan at quarterback over the Lions quarterback situation right now is going to be what gets them over the hump and wins them the Super Bowl in this one. So for the first time in everybody's lifetime, the Browns actually have a sight of future, and along with the Lions, they do as well. And there's also going to be more teams having a better future after the 2012 NFL draft, one of them being the Chiefs, who are taking Andrew Luck at number 6 overall and now have a very serious QB in the QB room now. We're also going to be seeing Russell Wilson join the Vikings, and funny enough, RG3 is going back to the Redskins to hopefully have a way better career than he did in real life. So as we jump into the 2013 NFL season, there is going to be one big change finally happening in the playoffs, and that's going to be Tom Brady finally making it back yet again. And he's going to be doing very well in the playoffs, as he's going to be making it all the way to the AFC Championship game just to run into Vince Young for a chance to go make it to the Super Bowl yet again. And on the NFC side, it's going to be the Cardinals finally making it to the NFC Championship game, and the Lions going back to it as well. And so it's going to be an amazing conference championship weekend, with Brady taking down Vince Young in the AFC Championship game to make it back to the Super Bowl, looking for his 5th ring. And on the NFC side, it's going to be a very close one in this, but the Lions are going to be finding their way back to the Super Bowl for back-to-back seasons, with the Cardinals falling short of making it. So the stage is set for both teams here, and it's pretty clear that the Patriots seem like the better team on paper, but the Lions just made it back here, so they definitely have some leverage in this game as well. And to everybody's surprise, this game is not going to be close whatsoever, with Tom Brady falling apart in this game 45-7, with the Lions taking home the Lombardi to Detroit for the first time in franchise history. Pretty big win for AJ Green, Dez Bryant, and Sam Bradford on the offense as they both get their first Super Bowl rings and are responsible for the first Lombardi heading to Detroit. So it's going to be a very big win for the Lions, and they're now trying to continue that success going into the 2014 NFL season. It wasn't the most insane draft class, but when you have Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, and Le'Veon Bell, it really can't be that bad for any of the teams. So with it not being a great class, we're immediately jumping into the playoffs where we're going to be seeing Tom Brady miss the playoffs yet again, falling apart after the post-Super Bowl loss. And it's going to cause a very big ripple effect in the AFC where we're going to be seeing a completely new AFC Championship matchup with two different teams we really haven't talked about too much, being the Steelers and the Jets. This Jets team is very good with Marshawn Lynch being one of the top running backs in the league, and the Steelers have Big Ben and Troy Polamalu on their team, so both these teams are serving out to be very well so far. And while we would love to yet again see another poverty franchise make it out of the trenches being the Jets, it is going to be the Steelers making it out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl where they're going to be playing against the Detroit Lions. And it has been a few years since we've had a very close Super Bowl, but it is going to be changing this year with the Steelers and Lions putting up a combined 60+ points throughout the whole game. And when it came down to the lower end of the fourth quarter, Big Ben would be leading his team to a game-leading field goal drive. So now it's going to be the Lions' turn and Sam Bradford to try and tie this game up or win it all in this one. Bradford, he's got to get something going here. This has been like, I've been hyping up this team and there's been nothing going on for them on this final drive. And he's going to throw it out to his receiver, gets like barely any yards there, and it's going to be 4th and 4 now. All right, here we go. Steelers, will they upset the Lions? Bradford gets hit as he throws, and his receiver catches it. That's a first down and a timeout by the Lions. I genuinely thought that was incomplete, and I thought it was actually not even going to be anyone there. And now he hits it out to, I believe that's going to be Dez Bryant maybe. I mean, this could be a very big play here for Bradford. Converts the first down there, and that's going to be number 11 for him. And now they got to spike the ball again. This is as thrilling of a game as you can get in a Super Bowl that we have even seen yet. We've had some good games, but not like this. And Bradford's going to get sacked. That, I don't know what's going to happen. They got to get back to the line and spike this thing. 12 seconds left on the clock. Will they have 8 seconds left? Probably. They will. So definitely going for the deep shot Hail Mary. Let's see what happens here. And it's going to be incomplete. That is going to do it. The Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl here. And yet again, a team gets a chance to go back-to-back and loses on the back-to-back. So pretty clearly, teams are having a very tough time going back-to-back in this reset NFL, and the Steelers are going to be walking home with the Lombardi out of this one. And so it's another big win for Big Ben here as he's yet again adding a Super Bowl ring to his resume, making it 2 on his career. It's a pretty big win for the Steelers in this one, but as we look at the 2014 NFL Draft before we jump into next season, it's going to be filled with very good players, including Aaron Donald, who's going to the Patriots to help Tom Brady potentially get out of this playoff slump. And along with that, Stafford out in Baltimore is getting a wide receiver 1 added to his team, being Odell Beckham Jr., who's also looking to have a way better career in this reset NFL. So as we jump into this season, it's going to be pretty rough for the Patriots as they are still going to be missing the playoffs, even with the addition of Aaron Donald, but there's still going to be promise with him as he's going to be winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. So fast forward to the Super Bowl, we're going to be seeing Eli Manning and the Giants meet up against the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. And while the Broncos have a good team, when you have a QB tight end duo like Eli Manning and Travis Kelce, it's going to be really hard to stop them. So with that being said, Eli Manning and Travis Kelce are walking away with their first rings together. And on top of that, he's winning Super Bowl MVP, so you can add that to the end of his career resume as well, which now caps off an elite season for him. And before we jump into next season, we're officially now 10 years into this sim, and it's time to take a very quick look around the league to see what's happening. The Lions look like a very legit team now as they have just drafted Todd Gurley and now have AJ Green, Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, and him to combine up with Sam Bradford, who might just be an average QB, but that might not matter with what they're providing him. Vince Young and the Titans are still riding strong throughout the NFL, with Vince Young recently coming off an MVP season, which is now adding to a very elite career for him. But the big shocker to the whole entire league has been Tom Brady's postseason success, with there not being much to talk about at all since the beginning of the sim. And while this season he's going to be having second-year Aaron Donald, who is hoping to take a big jump from his rookie season, they're still going to be missing the playoffs yet again, which is now causing eyebrow raises across the whole league. And with Tom Brady disappearing in the postseason, the whole entire playoff picture has been changing every single season. So with that being said, in the Super Bowl, we're going to be seeing a rematch of the Titans versus 49ers. So Adrian Peterson and Vince Young are going to be fighting off against each other yet again. And this time around, Vince Young's going to be dominating the 49ers 41-24, giving Vince Young his second Super Bowl ring of his career and also the second for the Titans franchise. He's clearly becoming the household favorite in Tennessee and is probably now the best player in the history of the franchise as well. But if Vince Young wants to repeat as a champion, he's definitely going to have to capitalize a lot more next season, as in the 2016 NFL draft, the AFC is going to be getting a lot of help. The Patriots are gearing up in the draft, taking Ezekiel Elliott at 9 and Justin Simmons in the draft as well. And along with that, the Chargers are picking up Tyreek Hill in the draft as well to pair with Phillip Rivers and DeAndre Hopkins. And one pick that's going to come in clutch very soon here is going to be the Giants drafting Dak Prescott to be the backup behind Eli Manning for one more year, as Eli's going to be going on his retirement tour this season. And he isn't going to be the best team in the AFC, as that's going to be going to the Indianapolis Colts, who now have Andy Dalton at quarterback and are looking for some huge postseason success in the post-Peyton Manning era. And as we look towards the NFC, it's going to be Cam Newton leading the Seattle Seahawks to the number 1 seed in the NFC, looking like the favorites to win it all. And he's going to be doing just that, as he's going to be taking down the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game to advance to the Super Bowl for the first time as the Seattle Seahawks. But in the AFC Championship game, it's going to be a Tom Brady versus Phillip Rivers duel, and it's going to be a very big game for both quarterbacks here. Brady's looking to add his 5th Super Bowl ring after not adding one in a very long time, and Phillip Rivers is looking to add his first one here, as he's almost done with his career. And it's clear that Phillip Rivers has the better supporting cast on his team. So with that being said, Tom Brady's going to be going down in the AFC Championship game 41-20 in an absolute dominant game by the Chargers. There is still going to be hope for Tom Brady, as he still has some time to go from retirement, as he's going to be playing for quite some time here, but now it's a big duel off between Phillip Rivers and Cam Newton for their first Super Bowl rings. So with that being said, both of these teams would be putting their best foot forward the whole entire time, and in the end, it would be a very close game in the 4th quarter. But then Cam Newton would be leading the team on a game-leading drive, and then the defense would be stopping Phillip Rivers, giving Cam Newton and Seattle their first Super Bowl rings together. And with Cam Newton now adding a Super Bowl to his resume, it's pretty clear that this looks better than his IRL career, with him not being able to jump on a fumble to help himself out. But even with the win here, the action would not stop, as going into the offseason, the Giants and the Cowboys are going to be losing their starting quarterbacks to retirement, as Tony Romo and Eli Manning are calling it a career themselves. The Giants already now have Dak Prescott starting in his 2nd season, but now the Cowboys are starting to look for an answer at quarterback so they can still get a lot out of Calvin Johnson. But we're now heading into the 2017-2018 NFL season, which now means the Mahomes era is officially beginning in the NFL. And he's going to be drafted by the Bengals to hopefully turn that franchise around, as they haven't been doing much in this sim whatsoever. And he's not the only highlight of this class, as the Falcons are going to be taking Myles Garrett with the 1st overall pick, and Christian McCaffrey is going to be going to the Rams as well. And while Mahomes won't be starting in his rookie season, as Derek Carr is going to be leading the Bengals this time around, his impact's going to be felt here very soon. And speaking of major impacts, Dak Prescott in the NFC is already causing chaos, as he's leading the Giants to the number 1 seed, which nobody could have expected after Eli Manning has just retired. So it's pretty clear that the Giants could be winning it all this season, but only time's going to be telling with that one. So as we look at the AFC, Tom Brady will be making the playoffs, but is going to be losing in the wildcard round right away to Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. This career for Tom Brady so far has not been the greatest thing we've ever seen, and while it still is one of the all-time best careers, it's not going to be compared to what we're usually used to from him. So jumping to the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott's going to be leading the Giants all the way to the promised land, while the Buffalo Bills are going to be in their way of a Super Bowl ring. And while some people did think that Dak Prescott's elite QB play would be making this a dominant performance by the Giants, the Bills would be hanging on in this one the whole entire time with them. But as the 4th quarter was coming to a close, it very much looked like the Giants were going to be celebrating their Lombardi trophy with Dak Prescott this time around. But with the Bills in scoring range and only needing an onside kick to potentially be back in this one, the game is not completely over quite yet. All right, Pat White now, yet again. A nice shot down the receiver. I thought that was intercepted, but that was pretty dangerous pass, and the Bills used their last time out. I don't know why I said Giants. 41 seconds to go now. White on another drag route to his receiver, grabs a first down there, and clock's gonna keep ticking with 35 left. Bills gotta spike this one pretty quick here. Probably have 26 seconds left on the clock. It's gonna be 27 seconds. Obviously, they're gonna need an onside kick anyway, so a score here is kind of not necessarily the dagger, but just puts them back in it somewhat for a few seconds, unless we see an onside kick recovery. And it's going to be Pat White scrambling out. He's going to try to get a touchdown himself, and he's going to do that. The Bills have some life here with a few seconds, but it's not a lot. All right, here we go. Let's see if we see an onside kick recovery by the Bills. The Giants are going to muff it. The Bills picked it up. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. 21 seconds left for Pat White and company. I can't believe that just happened. They actually have a chance to go do this. He throws it away right away. 17 seconds to go. You don't see many onside kicks recovered. Even being in the Super Bowl, that's literally impossible. The Giants could easily be fumbling a Super Bowl win here. And Pat White almost gets sacked, but throws it away. Kind of looked like that would have been an illegal pass, but I guess not. Well, here we go. This is pretty much it. I hope Pat White can make this throw for them. I really don't know. Mealy is not going to get much time to even throw that. Okay. And that's going to be incomplete. And so any hope we had with the onside kick, it's gone. And the Giants get bailed out very big by their defense there to win the Super Bowl. So the Giants are back on top of the NFL without Eli Manning this time, and now having Dak Prescott as their future of the franchise, this team's future looks very promising. And it's clear that the Giants are now reigning supreme in the NFC, but little does Dak Prescott know that in the 2018 NFL Draft, there's going to be a new competitor to hopefully take him on in the NFC. The next set of QBs are entering the NFL, and it's going to be topped off with Josh Allen going to the Bears and Lamar Jackson going to the Cardinals to cause even more havoc in the NFC. But the one benefiting the most from their new team is going to be Josh Allen, who's joining a Bears team that has Le'Veon Bell at running back and an elite defense including Eric Weddle and Jadeveon Clowney, both in their prime forms. But we can't forget about the AFC, as Tom Brady's going to be making it back to the playoffs as the 1 seed, and Mahomes is going to be right behind him in the number 3 seed. And while Lamar Jackson wouldn't be making it into the playoffs this year, there's still going to be a bright future for that Cardinals team, as he's going to be the face of the franchise from now on. So now back in the NFC, Josh Allen would be leading the Bears to a 14-3 record and also winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, which is going to be very huge for him. And he's going to be topping that all off with an NFC Championship game appearance. He's going to be facing off against the Seattle Seahawks and Cam Newton, who are looking to go back to the Super Bowl and generate more success for the team. And so Josh Allen did have a great season this year, but ultimately Cam Newton's experience in the playoffs is going to be getting the better of him, and so Seattle's going back to the Super Bowl and Josh Allen's going back to the drawing board for next season. And in Cam Newton's way of winning the Super Bowl is going to be Patrick Mahomes, who is making his first Super Bowl as a Bengal, as he would be taking down Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game to do so. So both these QBs have a lot at stake here, as Mahomes is looking to start building up his GOAT resume and Cam Newton's looking to add another Super Bowl to his resume. And while Mahomes would be keeping this game close most of the game, it would be Cam Newton having the 10-point lead with 2:40 left to go in the fourth quarter, looking like he's going to be taking home his second Lombardi. And while Mahomes is going to get a chance to come back in this one, the lights may be too bright for him right now. 20 seconds now. Mahomes, can he pull off a play here? Throws it, interception. I don't even know what that was. That was one of like the worst throws I've ever seen him make. And Mahomes is going down in his first Super Bowl. So Cam Newton's officially adding his second Super Bowl to his resume and is now looking like the best QB the Seahawks have ever had. The results we've seen from Brady not making it all the way to the Super Bowl consistently has been very wild and has changed the outcome of multiple players' careers in this sim. And one of those players impacted by this very much would be Vince Young, who's officially going to be hanging up the cleats on an amazing career that he had with the Titans and going down as one of the best QBs in the team's history. And while the 2019 NFL draft class wouldn't be all that special, there would still be Nick Bosa, who's going to be going to the Chiefs to hopefully bring some light to an Andrew Luck-led Chiefs team. So now heading into next season, after a big bounce back year for Tom Brady, he's going to be missing the playoffs yet again, which is now starting to raise concerns all over New England if he's really the future QB that this team needs right now. So with him missing the playoffs, it's going to be Josh Allen making it out of the NFC and Andy Dalton finding his way to some post-Manning era success, as he's going to be leading the Colts to the Super Bowl as well. And while he may not be the first person that you're thinking of as a Super Bowl quarterback, when you provide him with the right pieces to win, he might just be that guy at QB for them. And it was clear that Josh Allen and Andy Dalton would be putting their best masterclasses on offense throughout the whole entire game in this one, but when you have Andy Dalton putting up 6 touchdowns in the biggest game of his career, the Colts are going to be coming out of this one 45-37 in Andy Dalton's first Super Bowl win. So Andy Dalton's completely turned his career around here in Indianapolis and is really starting to make a real name for himself in the league. And as we transition to the offseason, the 2020 NFL draft class is going to be filled with prospects that is going to change the whole entire league forever. Joe Burrow's officially going number 1 to the Chargers, and he's walking into one of the best offensive situations with Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, and DK Metcalf at wide receiver. And right after him would be the Jets taking Justin Herbert, who will not be starting right away this season as Stafford has transitioned his time over to the Jets, but he's definitely going to be starting there very soon. And for the elite wide receivers in this class is going to be Justin Jefferson going to Jacksonville to team up with the Jaguars, and CeeDee Lamb heading on over to Minnesota to become a Minnesota Viking. But the major development this offseason would be Tom Brady's officially no longer a New England Patriot, as they have decided not to re-sign him back, which means Tom Brady's ending his career elsewhere like real life. And so his offseason decision would be to go and play football for the Steelers here, who ironically did draft Jordan Love in the first round so he could be the backup to Tom Brady for 2 years and hopefully become the face of this franchise over the next few years. The Patriots now have to figure out what direction they're taking the franchise in, as Aaron Donald's not going to start getting any younger, and they really have to start figuring out a QB that can help them win today. So jumping into the 21 NFL season, it's going to be Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes missing out on postseason play this time around, which is very shocking and will be the first time that's happened with them in the league together. But the playoffs would still be amazing without them, as Josh Allen is looking to go back to the Super Bowl and Joe Burrow has helped this Chargers team make it to the playoffs in his rookie season. And to top off another great year for Josh Allen, he's going to be winning his first NFL MVP, which is coming at a great time as the Bears seriously look like the favorites to win it all this time around. And it very much looks like that's going to be happening, as he's going to be taking his team all the way to the NFC Championship game just to run into the Atlanta Falcons, who quietly have been building an amazing team around Deshaun Watson. They've paired him up now with Derrick Henry, Myles Garrett, Keenan Allen, and lots of more talent around him to make it impossible for him to not have success this time around. So in order for him to get back to the Super Bowl, he's going to have to take down a team that might be the most well-built team he's seen in his career so far. And throughout the whole game, Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson would be keeping it close most of the time, but Deshaun Watson would be etching out a lead in the fourth quarter, making Josh Allen now have to run a game-winning drive here. All right, here we go. 2nd and 9 now for Josh Allen. A minute 10 left to go, and he's throwing an interception. The Falcons are going to take this one back potentially. They won't. Josh Allen does stop him, but that doesn't matter. What a mistake by Josh Allen in the clutch, throws an interception. So a very costly mistake is going to be leading Josh Allen out of the Super Bowl and sending Deshaun Watson to it. And back in the AFC, it'd be the Chargers versus the Colts for the AFC Championship game, which would be a very close one, but Joe Burrow's lack of experience would get the better of him in this one, and Andy Dalton's going to be going back to the Super Bowl. So Andy Dalton and the Colts are getting a chance to go back-to-back in the Super Bowl and potentially start the next dynasty in the NFL, and with that being said, they would be doing just that, taking down the Falcons 37-18. So it's clear the Colts' success in the post-Peyton Manning era is looking way better than what everybody thought it would have been like, and Andy Dalton's going to be the face of the franchise for this team, which is also coming as a shock to everyone as well. And just after this, Adrian Peterson would also be retiring from the NFL, leaving behind a legacy in San Francisco that might go down as one of the best running back careers we will ever see in our life. He revolutionized the position at running back, and in that time also put up insane stats like 26,000 rushing yards and 245 rushing TDs and multiple Offensive Player of the Year awards. There's officially now a new debate between the best running back to ever play in the NFL, and it's going to be involving him and Barry Sanders, and that's going to be up to you to decide for who had the better career. And moving on to the draft, it would be Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be staying as a Jacksonville Jaguar, and the Steelers would be drafting Jamar Chase, who are luckily going to be getting one more year of Tom Brady, but I'm gonna say this right now, this is gonna be the last dance for him in his career. And so with that being said, he is gonna be taking advantage of that, as he's gonna be leading the Steelers to an 11-6 record and making it look like he can make a good playoff run with this type of team. And in the playoffs, he would be getting through the wildcard round just to go into the divisional round and have to face off against Patrick Mahomes for one last time. And this could be arguably game of the year in only the divisional round, which is saying a lot for these two in this matchup here. And they would be giving us one of the better divisional games we've ever seen, as they're going to be going all the way to overtime to see who's going to be making it to the AFC Championship game. Bengals stopped Brady on his first drive in overtime, and now we are entering sudden death with Mahomes. Could he get his team back into field goal range and potentially end Brady's career here? Taking his time in the pocket, is going to have a lot of time there, and Dante Pettis catches it, and he's getting across the 50 there. Very big play right away. Here we go again. Mahomes dropping back to pass, a very quick throw out to Latimer there, and he's grabbing a almost getting a first down there. 2nd and 1 now. Mahomes goes back to throwing again and hits Latimer. He's going to break a tackle and almost gets to the 30 there, down at the 33. Bengals are looking like they are in prime position to win this football game, but you never know. Mahomes could easily screw up on this drive somehow, or the running back fumbles. As we know with Najee Harris, that doesn't happen often, but it could happen. He's going to throw it out to his tight end again and grabs it down to the 31. Let's see what approach the Bengals take here. They're probably just going to run it. I guess not. And his receiver is getting stopped before the first down, but the field goal team should be coming out on this one. And it looks like they are not. They're going to elect to go for it in this situation. I don't know why you would. And he's actually going to grab the first down there. And now this game looks pretty much over. I mean, you're down at the 16. Mahomes might have just hit the dagger on the Steelers defense. Here we go. The kick to potentially end Brady's career and move Mahomes onto the AFC Championship game. Will this be it? The kick is up, and it's going to be good. The Bengals are taking down Brady in the divisional round, and that is going to be an ending on Brady's career in the NFL. A very rough loss for him, and now Mahomes is trying to chase a Super Bowl trophy here. So not the best way for Brady to end his career, as Mahomes is going to be heading to the AFC Championship game and Brady is heading into retirement. To some people, his career might have been a letdown to what we were expecting, but still having the career that he did in this sim, it's definitely still going to be one of the all-time greats. And so as one legend leaves, another one is beginning his story, as Patrick Mahomes is going to be going all the way to the Super Bowl to face off against Josh Allen for the first time in their time in the league. And it's going to be a very important Super Bowl here, as one of these players is going to be walking away with their first Super Bowl ring while the other's walking away without one. And Josh Allen's going to have a big edge in this game, as he definitely has the better team surrounding him, while Mahomes doesn't have that necessarily going for him on the Bengals. And with that all being said, we're going to be seeing two legendary quarterbacks battling it out on the biggest stage in the NFL, and at the very end, it just seemed like Josh Allen's team would be a little bit better, as Mahomes would be making a big mistake in this game. Biggest play of the game coming up, 4th and 8 here. Can Mahomes convert the first down and keep his Super Bowl hopes alive? Throws it out to his receiver. It's going to be intercepted. The Bears defense comes in clutch and is going to be giving Josh Allen his first Super Bowl win. So Josh Allen's going to be the first one walking away with the Super Bowl ring between him and Mahomes, and it's definitely going to start turning heads around the league, as Josh Allen could be the beginning of the face of the NFL. And on top of that, you can add another MVP award to Josh Allen's resume, as he's going to be going back to back with that award, which is another big accomplishment for his career that's so young already. And so as we jump into the 22-23 season, there's definitely going to be some big additions coming from the draft, but there's not that much QB competition coming in. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be going to the Patriots at pick number 1, and they would also be drafting Brock Purdy in this draft as well to hopefully find their franchise QB. And during the regular season, it would be Lamar Jackson, the Arizona Cardinals, making a big statement, winning the NFC West, and are now planning to make a big playoff run this year. And while the Cardinals would be shocking the league, it would be the Patriots putting up an even bigger statement by making the playoffs for the first time in the post-Tom Brady era. The pass rush duo of Aaron Donald and Aiden Hutchinson seems to be the trick that they just needed, and on top of that, it would be Ezekiel Elliott having an amazing season for himself, going for 1,700 yards on the year. And luckily for the Cardinals and the Patriots, they're going to be making a deep playoff run this year, as they're going to be making it all the way to the conference championship weekend, as the Bears are going to be facing on against the Cardinals, and the Patriots are going to be facing the Ravens, who now have Kyler Murray at QB instead of Stafford. But it's pretty clear on the NFC side that seeing the first Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen duel in the NFC Championship game is going to be the biggest game of the week. So with Lamar Jackson looking to add a Super Bowl to his resume and Josh Allen to start continuing his dominant NFL career, it would be Lamar Jackson getting dominated in this game 37-22, sending Josh Allen back to the Super Bowl. And while the game between the Patriots and the Ravens would be close most of the time, it would be clear that while Kyler Murray is still an elite QB for the Ravens, the Patriots defense of Aiden Hutchinson and Aaron Donald would just be too much for him, as he would be going down 24-17. And now the Patriots have a real shot at winning a Super Bowl in the post-Tom Brady era of this team, which is going to come as a shock to a lot of people right now. So in order for Josh Allen to go back-to-back, he's going to have to take down a very hot Patriots team that has been non-stop throughout the whole entire playoffs. And so it's clear this would be one of the toughest games Josh Allen's had to play in the Super Bowl, as they would be keeping it close the whole entire time with the Patriots, as going into the fourth quarter, this game would be tied 17 apiece. And as we got close to the end of the fourth quarter, Josh Allen would have the ball in his hands, looking to try to lead a game-winning drive to stop overtime from happening in the big game. All the Bears need here is just a first down and to hopefully get them into field goal range. A little check down to his receiver. He's going to grab the first down a lot more and gets them down to the 37. A very good play to start it off right away, and now the Bears might be in prime field position to win this game here. Allen now going to try to make a throw himself, overthrows his receiver, and that's going to be 2nd and 10. Allen now is going to do a play action pass to his running back. He now checks it down his receiver, and he's going to get a few yards there, and that's going to be timeout Bears. The Patriots defense needs to make a stop here, or else this game is pretty much going to be out of their hands for this one. And he gets the first down to his receiver, and that might just do it here. The Bears are going to get a chance to win this game. Here we go. Should be a cheap shot for the Bears kicker here with 5 seconds to go. This should be good for the Bears. The kick is up, and it's going to go through. Josh Allen has the lead in the Super Bowl with 2 seconds to go, and the Bears are staring down back-to-back Super Bowl wins. So now Josh Allen has back-to-back Super Bowl wins and back-to-back NFL MVP award winnings, which is very crazy to think about this early in his career. And it's clear that he's going to become the face of the league here very soon, and might already be right now. But now he has a real shot at changing NFL history forever now, as he's going to be going for the first repeat in NFL history. But in a shocking turn of events, next season would be an absolute collapse for the Bears, as they're going to be going 6-11 on the year, completely missing the playoffs in the process, ruining their chances at a three-peat. And so with that door opening up in the NFC for any contender to make their step up to the plate, it would be Lamar Jackson making another big step up this season, winning the NFL MVP and leading the Cardinals to the 1 seed in the NFC. And Lamar Jackson would be leading them all the way back to the NFC Championship game to go against a very strong Falcons team with Deshaun Watson and that very stacked defense as well with Myles Garrett. And with Lamar Jackson getting a second chance at going back to the Super Bowl, this time during his MVP season, he would be able to take down this Falcons team in a very close game, 24-17, to find his way to his first Super Bowl in his career. And meeting them in the Super Bowl would be Patrick Mahomes and the Bengals, as we're now going to be seeing the first Lamar Jackson Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl ever. And with both these quarterbacks not having a Super Bowl win in their resume yet, this game is going to be very impactful on their careers later on. And when you have two elite talents like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, you know that they're going to be keeping this game close the whole entire time between the two of them. So in a nail-biter between these two in one of the biggest games of their careers, Lamar Jackson is going to be walking away with the Super Bowl win, as Mahomes now moves to 0-3 in the big game. And to add on to Lamar's elite season, he's taken home the NFL MVP, making it for one of the most memorable seasons for Lamar Jackson's career. And before we head into next season, we can't forget about the 2024 NFL draft class, which is going to be loaded of QB talent to set up the next generation of NFL QB play, being Jaden Daniels going to the Lions, Drake May going to the Panthers, and Caleb Williams going to the Dolphins. And while these rookie quarterbacks won't be making the biggest impact over the next 2 years, they have a big responsibility of living up to the talent before them and trying to become the next best franchise QB for their said teams. As we head into the 24-25 NFL season, Mahomes is going to be missing the playoffs this year yet again, causing another spiral in the AFC. It's clear that Mahomes' career is definitely not going as planned and can be very much compared to what Tom Brady went through throughout his whole entire career here. But still, down in the NFC, it's going to be Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson running the whole entire show, being the best QBs in the league right now. It's clear that both of these QBs have now made their name for themselves in the NFC and are now the teams to take down every single season. But the NFC is not the only league in the NFL, as down in the AFC it would be Joe Burrow and the Chargers making it all the way to the AFC Championship game to face off against the Miami Dolphins, who do have Caleb Williams on the bench to start his rookie season, as Geno Smith's going to be the starter leading the team. And back in the NFC, the Cardinals are going to be falling apart in the divisional round, losing to a very stacked Falcons team, as Josh Allen's now going to have to face the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. But it wouldn't be a full disaster for the Cardinals this year, as Lamar Jackson would be also walking away with the NFL NFL MVP, making that back-to-back years for him. And while Josh Allen's had plenty of success in NFC Championship games, this time around the Falcons would be taking down both of the best QBs in the NFC, as they would be embarrassing the Bears 24-41 to advance to the Super Bowl and sending Josh Allen home. And Deshaun Watson's now looking at making his career even better, who's been going under the radar for having a pretty good NFL resume so far. And the Falcons are going to be meeting up to play against the Chargers in the Super Bowl, who took down the Dolphins in the AFC Championship game to make it here. And you can't rule out the Chargers, even though they're facing up against one of the most stacked Falcons teams we've ever seen, because with Burrow having Tyreek Hill and DeAndre Hopkins, he has plenty of offensive power to take down a team like this. And so with that being said, this game would be thrilling the whole entire time, as both of these teams would be putting up very high scoring points between the two of them. But as we got close to the end of the game, the Falcons would be up over the Chargers 30-24, making it look like Burrow's out of luck in this one. But Burrow's getting one more shot at a game-winning drive to hopefully win the Super Bowl for the Chargers and add a Super Bowl to his resume. All right, here we go. Burrow with 2:24 left to go in the Super Bowl here, with a shot to take down the Falcons and get his first Super Bowl ring here. He's going to step up in the pocket, throw it back to his running back, Tariq Cohen. He's going to take a loss of yards there. All right, coming out of the 2-minute warning now. 2nd and 11 here to go for Burrow. Has to make a big play. Throws it over Tyreek Hill's head, and that's going to be incomplete. 3rd and 11 now. Burrow. Quick pass out to Tyreek Hill. He's going to grab a first down a little more, down at the 41. Chargers still have a timeout left with less than 1:30 to go here. Burrow needs to get the ball moving a little quicker. He's going to hit his receiver. He's going to grab a first down a lot more there. Another first down to go for Burrow. Less than 1:10 to go here. He tries to make a play out to D-Hop, and he's going to drop it there, incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Burrow with a quick pass out to Dotson again. He's going to go down and grab 5 yards. Burrow now dropping back. Throws it out to his tight end. He's going to drop it there, and it's 4th and 5 now. Very big play coming up for LA. Burrow with one more shot to get the first down here. They are down 6. They just need to convert the first down here and probably call timeout right after that and get themselves together. D-Hop looks like he'll be open on the side there. Tariq Cohen has it. He grabs the first down a little bit more and is down at the 14. Looks like they're going to hand it off to Cohen here with 20 seconds to go, and they call timeout. Burrow now dropping back. He's going to take a shot to the end zone. It's going to be a throwaway, incomplete there. 3rd and 7 coming up. Here we go now. Less than 15 seconds to go here. You don't want to play inbounds here, or you can't even take a sack. And he's going to throw it away again. 4th and 7 coming up. Biggest play of the game coming up here. It's pretty much touchdown or bust for them at this point. There's no way they get a first down and get back to the line on time for them to have another play to go for. So he's going to have to take a shot at the end zone here. Burrow taking his time in the pocket, takes a shot at the end zone. It's dropped by D-Hop, and that is going to do it. The Falcons are taking down the Chargers in this one after a very rough play there, and D-Hop dropping the ball in the end zone. And a very costly drop in the end zone by DeAndre Hopkins is ending any chance that Joe Burrow gets to win a Super Bowl this year, and the Falcons are now taking home one with Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett. And even though the outcome was bad for the Chargers, both of these teams have lots of potential over the next few years, and they definitely will be back as long as they keep that talent around. And now as we head into the last season, something very crazy would be happening this season, which would be the first time we've ever seen it. The big 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, being Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen, are all going to be missing the playoffs this year, making it for a unique final season. And this would clearly open up the doors for one of the better teams in the AFC, being the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have Trevor Lawrence and Justin Jefferson as one of the better QB wide receiver duos we've seen in the league, who now get a shot at winning a Super Bowl, as they're going to be making it all the way there. But meeting them there would be the Falcons, who are looking to go back-to-back in the final season here, and it's now looking like they may have a real shot to do so against an inexperienced team like the Jaguars. But even with the inexperience, the Jaguars would be keeping this game close between the Falcons the whole entire time, and even going into the 4th quarter, they would be up 22-21 over them. And as we got towards the end of the game, the Falcons would have the ball, and Deshaun Watson would have a chance to get the team into field goal range and hopefully end the Jaguars season here. 3rd and 7 now. Deshaun Watson gonna have to make a play throwing it here. Gets it to his receiver. He's going down at the 30, down at the 23-yard line. Goes his receiver, I believe that was Pettis. Watson again now with 1:24 to go. They still have 3 timeouts. Takes a shot deep. It's going to be intercepted by the Jags. What a mistake by Watson there, and that might have costed them the Super Bowl in this one. Oh my God. Here we go now, 2nd and 6 here. Trevor Lawrence, can he get the first down here for his team? Cam Akers going to run it down the middle. He's got the first down. And that might be the dagger on the Super Bowl in this one, and Trevor Lawrence and Justin Jefferson might be winning their first rings together. And all thanks to the Jaguars defense, Jefferson and Lawrence are now getting their first Super Bowl rings together and are taking down the reigning champions in the process. One thing certain after this game, over the last 20 years, NFL history has been unpredictable to say the least. We have seen teams who have had zero franchise success win it all for the first time, players who we may know of having lackluster careers in real life finding some new ground this time and making a big name for themselves. From the heartbreaking Super Bowl losses to the craziest seasons by some of the league's best, to now the future of the NFL looking brighter than ever. And the only question to ask now is what the next 20 years of NFL history could look like after this.